Hey, what's up, Killas? It is your final girl Mel coming at you from my Killer podcast. And today we're doing another hit list. I know you guys love the hit lists. So we're going to be talking about Gothic horror movies. I want to keep the Crow momentum going. I got the graphic novel over here. I got my VHS, my special edition DVD, and my Blu-ray over here. I am awaiting my 4K to come in the mail whenever release date comes on that one. And then I am very, very eagerly, painfully awaiting the 2024 Crow to drop in theaters on June 7th. Until then, we need something to suffice us, right? We need something to dip our toes into to keep us sane until the drop of that movie. So today we're going to be keeping the Crow-mentum going, if you will. And we're going to be talking Gothic horror movies that are similar in vein to The Crow. Some of these do teeter the line a little bit. But nonetheless, it should be a good time. So stay tuned. What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new here, I'm not only on YouTube, I'm on a bunch of other social media platforms. Kill the description box below. You can follow me everywhere. I also have a podcast called The Rad Pack. Become a channel member because I want you. Also, I have a Patreon, so all that stuff is down below. Without any further ado, let's get into the hit list. We are talking Gothic horror movies. This should be exciting. None of these are in any particular order. I just grabbed them off the shelf based off of the listy poo I made. And let's start with Constantine. Constantine is kind of along the same vein of The Crow. It was a comic and now it's a movie. So if you haven't seen it, it stars Keanu Reeves and he is kind of a exorcist of sorts. Yes, save the world from demons and that kind of stuff. I do really like this movie and I'm not even really sure why, but if you haven't seen it, check it out. It has Crowish vibes. Next up on the list is Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I don't think I need to explain why this is a Gothic horror movie, but if you have not seen it, definitely check it out. It has Robert De Niro in it and is just a very well crafted movie. And the cinematography is actually really great in this one. Next up on the list is Suspiria. This is another one of those movies that I don't feel like I need to do a deep dive into too much because we have all seen it and love it. But it is a Gothic horror that I wanted to recommend to people who haven't seen it, so check it out. It's ooey gooey. And then we have one of my favorite actors of all time, and that's Johnny Depp in Sleepy Hollow. This is a fantastic movie. This is also a fantastic release. This is that book version steelbook that came out. Comparing this one to some of the other movies that I just picked up, this has a lot of weight to it. I actually didn't realize how heavy this movie was, but there is a book in there, so that's probably why. Sleepy Hollow is a fantastic watch. It also stars Christina Ricci. It is about the Headless Horseman. It is a Tim Burton film. Definitely check this one out. It is well worth your time. Johnny Depp is always amazing in all of his movies. Anyway. Next up on the list is another Johnny Depp movie, and that is Edward Scissorhands. Yes, I have the Deadpool cover, which I am dying over. I made it a mission to buy all of the Deadpool covers that I could of the movies that I actually wanted, because the Deadpool cover was on several movies that I wasn't really that into, so I just didn't get them, but they're just kind of fun, you know? They're just kind of fun. But Edward Scissorhands is such a charming, wholesome movie about a man that lives in a mansion, and along comes a lady who stumbles upon him and takes him home and is trying to fit him into the normal world, and he is not a normal man. If you have not seen it, where have you been and what have you been doing? Kill the comments below and tell me, because I'm curious. I'm assuming most people have seen it and know and love it, but watch it again. Give it some love. Why not? Then we have The Ninth Gate. Another Johnny Depp movie. He is kind of trending here. He does a lot of Gothic horror movies, I've noticed. But he is also a fantastic actor, so he's been in just like a shit ton of movies. Would Secret Window be considered a Gothic horror movie? No. Right? I didn't grab Secret Window. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Would Secret Window be considered? Because that's a really good movie too. Check it out. But The Ninth Gate, I always found the end of this movie to be a little jarring, to say the least. But it is a slow burn, suspense thriller-ish movie. I guess it's not necessarily a horror, but it's definitely worth checking out if you haven't seen it. It is also a well-crafted movie. Then we have a movie I'm going to preface with, I realize not many people liked this movie because there is original subject matter of this movie, and this movie apparently didn't do that justice, but it is Dark Shadows, which is another Johnny Depp movie. Why didn't I just make this a hit list of Johnny Depp movies? Did I do that already? I already did that. I'll link that below. I'll link my hit list of Johnny Depp movies if I did indeed do that. Along with, I will also link my Crow trailer review. So please check that out and share that video. I need that video to continue its momentum. So if you could do that for your girl, I would appreciate it. Dark Shadows, it is a vampire movie. It is a horror comedy, but it is also, the cinematography of this movie is fantastic. I absolutely love it. And Johnny Depp is just so freaking charming in this movie. I just can't with it. Next up on the list is The Craft. Not a Johnny Depp movie, but I'm looking and the next one is. Can you guess what the next Johnny Depp movie is? The Craft. This is about witches taking revenge on the world. Well, I guess not really the world, but their high school, to say the least. But this is a very good movie as well. Then we have From Hell, another Johnny Depp movie. This is about Jack the Ripper. Well, kind of a version of Jack the Ripper, but also a very good movie. It also stars Heather Graham, who is beautiful. So check that one out. This wouldn't be a Gothic horror list if I didn't talk about Bram Stoker. This wouldn't be a Gothic horror hit list if we didn't talk about Bram Stoker's Dracula. This movie was kind of pivotal in my younghood. Me and one of my girlfriends absolutely loved this movie. I don't know why. It's kind of a slow burn vampire movie-ish, but we just absolutely loved it and we watched it all the time. I should do a hit list of just the movies me and my girlfriend, one girlfriend in particular, would watch all the time because they're the oddest movies that we had the biggest fascination with. It's so weird. And I do have some honorable mentions that I did not have physical medias for, so I will be flashing them up on the screen for you. But one of them is Interview with a Vampire. And I could not believe I did not have this in my collection. I think I did at one point, but as you all know, at one point my apartment got robbed when I lived in the big city, and all my shit was taken, and I believe it might have been part of that collection that it was stolen. But Interview with the Vampire is a fantastic slow burn vampire movie. It is so good. It is so good. It's like the older I get and the more modern day movies I see, the more classic some of these old movies become and the more important they become, right? But Interview with the Vampire is all-time greatness, so check that out if you haven't seen it. Then we also have another Johnny Depp movie, which is Sweeney Todd. This one is about a killer barber. That sounds fun, right? Definitely check that one out. Just check out Johnny Depp's entire filmography. It's great. Then last, but certainly not least, we have a queen in the house, and that is Queen of the Damned, one of the most prolific Gothic horror movies in the ways of female Gothic horror. So this is another vampire movie, and I definitely recommend checking it out. Like I said, the older I get, the more I appreciate these kind of movies from back in the day. It's worth a watch. Poo. All right, that is it. That is all. That is my Gothic horror hit list. Go check out all of these movies. They're all worth it. If you are just chomping at the bit for that new Crow movie that drops in June, just like I am, and you need something to tide you over until then, check out all of these Gothic horror movies that I just talked about, and maybe we will make it for the big day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you'd like to further help support me, my channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and kill that bell for your girl. Share this video with your friends because everybody needs something to watch at some point. Become a channel member, click that button below if you'd like to become a Patreon member. The link is in the description. Don't forget to watch, like, comment, and share my The Crow trailer reaction video. I'm very proud of that video and it did very well and I want it to continue to flourish. But until the next time we gather, have a killer day.